Hi everyone, Valentine's Day is in a couple of days and one of my students gave me these flowers and I've never gotten flowers before for Valentine's Day. So I wanted to take a few pictures of them to show my appreciation and send them back to her. And while I was doing that last night, I was thinking I could make a video showing how to do some creative flower photography with just about any camera. Now I'm going to be using the most basic equipment and props. So I have my EM5 Mark III and a 14-42 kit lens, and we're going to be shooting in full manual mode and doing some light painting and getting a black background and things like that. So all you need really is a chair and any black or as dark a towel or blanket that you have, and just drape that over the chair and then put the flowers down here. And then on the chair I have a little book here to help stabilize the base onto the chair. This is helpful, especially if your chair has a cushion on it. But let's go ahead and set this up. And just drape this on the back. I know I have a black blanket somewhere, but this works just as well. Okay. All right, now let me go ahead and frame the image like so, and I'm going to rotate these a little bit. I'm going to move my focus point over to here. So I have the camera in manual mode. I've done a full reset, but I have the camera in manual mode. So let's go ahead and put the shutter down to 8 seconds. And I did a little experimenting last night, and 8 seconds seemed to be about right. And I'm going to put the aperture to f8, and then I'm going to lock my ISO down to 200. I'm also going to set my white balance to sunny, and then I'm going to shoot RAW plus JPEG because the images come out pretty good straight out of camera, but it doesn't hurt to do a little post-processing, and I'll show you that as well. And we're all set. It's a little bit off center. Move this over. Okay, good. So I framed the flowers just so I have a little bit of wiggle room around the tops and the sides. Let me move this up a little bit. All right, good. All right, so I'm just going to use the LED light on my cell phone, and I turn the front screen off so it's black. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shine the light onto the flower first, half press the shutter button so that the camera can acquire focus, and then put the camera behind my, or the light behind my back, start the exposure, and then just kind of light around the flower like this. And I want to be careful that I don't get the phone between the camera and the flowers. So I'm going to stay outside of the frame as much as possible. And also I want to avoid shining any light onto the back here if I can. So I'm going to tilt the phone sort of in this direction away from the back like that. And then when I come into the front, I'm going to make sure I try to stay directly in front of the flowers so it doesn't shine too much light onto the back here either. So let's go ahead and start. So I'm going to shine the light onto the flower to help the camera to autofocus. So I half press the shutter button and I hold it. And then I put the phone behind my back and I start the exposure. And go around the sides and then a little bit in the front like that. And that should be good. And it's doing a noise reduction process, which if your camera does this, it's okay. It does help reduce the noise. All right, now when I look at this, the background's pretty black, but the flowers are too bright. So intuitively, you would think shorten the shutter speed, but that's not what you want to do. What you actually want to do is increase the aperture, because that'll reduce the amount of light. Or you can just hold the flash or the light further away from the flower. So let's go to F11. We'll just go one stop. Focus on the closest flower. Move the light away, start the exposure. Then do this again. All right, let's see how that looks. But this noise reduction process helps reduce noise for long exposures. All right, a little better. Still a little bit too bright for my taste. So now I'm going to just move the light further away from the flower and try one more time. Like this. I'm going to stay far away like this. Get into the front and on the side. And let's see how that looks. All right, fabulous. Okay, now what I want to do is, instead of a black background, I'm going to try and make a cloudy background. So what I need for that is just a white hand towel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake this behind the flowers to create that cloudy background. And then also I'm going to illuminate the flowers the same way I did before for a few seconds. And then shake this behind it and see how that comes out. So I'm going to hold the phone and the towel in one hand like this so that the light shines onto the towel. So let's acquire focus. Okay, then start the exposure. And then let's do that. And then see how that looks. All right, that looks great. All right, now let's try this with a blue towel. Where did I put that? So we're going to half press and focus. And then move the light away. Start the exposure. And then do the same thing. And then light around the flower. Okay. Wow, that looks great. That blue and yellow really comes together, right? Okay, and now I'm going to try aluminum foil to make streaks and do some light painting. So same idea. I'm just going to hold the aluminum foil and the flash in one hand. And let's focus. And I'm going to do kind of a swirly motion like this behind the flower. And we're going to go faster this time. And go a little bit in the front. And go around. Ooh, that's crazy, huh? I think I want a little bit more flower and less foil. So we'll do one more just for fun. All right, so there's 3 quick ideas so you can do some creative flower photography and light painting just using full manual mode on any camera. And you're going to have to experiment a little bit. Make sure you're in a very dark room, have a dark backdrop, and then start with the settings that I showed you there, 8 seconds, f11 at ISO 200. And now let's go into the photo editor and see if we can just give them a little bit of more polish. right, I think those came out pretty well. And I'm going to try and do more videos like this throughout the year where I share these projects that I do time to time with you. And if you enjoy these kind of videos and want to support the channel and the work that I do here, consider buying me a coffee or making a donation in the links below, because they're greatly appreciated and they help me to continue making videos like this for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.